What do you envy about the opposite sex? Peeing on the side of the road / in the forest without crouching and trying to avoid your pants / shoes. Edit. Okay, I appreciate things like the shui exist and may consider getting one if I take up more hiking in the future, however I'd still rather just be able to whip my parts out and do it without equipment. If it makes you feel better, 90% of the time the last bit of pee goes in our pants no matter what we do. Edit. Please stop messaging me to push on my taint, lol, I get it, thanks. Yup, you can shake it like an abusive boyfriend, but there will still be a little bit coming out as soon as you tuck it in. The trick is to stroke up once / twice, that should push out the rest, then you shake. No pee in pants since I learned this. When my older boy was in preschool, and I'd go to pick him up, the kids would all swarm all around me. The teacher said that I was the only male some of them would see all day. Any day. So sad. When I was a Bible camp counselor, I had this kid on the third day of camp who told me that I was the best dad he ever had. I was like 16, and I had literally known the kid for 3 days. Being able to compliment someone of the same sex about their appearance. I often see girls complimenting other girls on Instagram posts with things such as stunner, babe, etc. etc. With us guys you just don't get that often, and if a guy did it out of the blue it would seem very out of place. Also, guys complimenting girls about their appearance is often seen as simping, when in actuality most guys just want to say something nice. The same doesn't often apply to girls complimenting guys, at least from what I've seen. Feel free to correct me on that one. Last time I matched with someone on Tinder was in April. They unmatched me in an hour before I even saw the notification. Not having boobs and therefore not having to account for them in clothing choices. I mean, small breasts are fine I guess, but once they have a certain size, you're screwed. Most fitted clothes are designed for people with smaller breasts and won't fit you properly. Clothes fit you everywhere except for your chest, and the ones that do fit your chest are too loose everywhere else, hang down from your breasts and make you look twice as wide as you are. If you do find something that fits you, people will shame you and call you a slut for showing off your breasts. Well, sorry, for wearing a shirt that's my actual size and is not even low cut or anything, instead of hiding inside a sweater that is 3 sizes too big. Also, the astronomical cost of bras and the struggle of having breasts that are not perfectly firm and perky. There's ways to extend this through breath work and muscle tensing. It works. Edit. Lots of questions on technique. It takes practice, but start with male kegels to strengthen your pelvic floor. Tensing those muscles as you approach orgasm helps the ride last longer. Also, take deep breaths while you are coming to the edge of orgasm, and try to breathe through the sensation. This both heightens and prolongs the orgasm experience. Breathing is key. Holding your breath, which most people do, makes the orgasm shorter. Deep breaths make it longer. Right after the initial wave hits, keep stimulating your penis through micro movements, easier if you are masturbating vs having sex, but works either way. You know the overstimulated response where even a small touch almost hurts? Touch just enough to that spot to create pleasure, but not so much that it overdoes it. Some strokes or squeezing just to the side of the head usually work. Over time, This reduces post-nut touch that sensation and increases orgasm duration. I practice this while masturbating and usually during sex, and frequently experience shaking orgasms that go on wave after wave for at least 30 seconds, feels like an eternity. I've had a couple of partners remark they wish their orgasms were so intense. 10/10 would do the work once they realize the benefit. I know both sexes can do this, but getting a whole bunch of your friends and sit while people are getting the dead skin off your hands and feet, cleaning and fixing your nails. My wife dragged me once and I really liked it. But none of my guy friends want to do it. I thought it'll be something cool than our usual sit at a bar drink beer thing. My little sister tried when we were 3. We were in the bathroom and she started trying to bend her hips forward to pee into the bowl and my aunt walked in. She absolutely lost it laughing, then my mother did and couldn't contain herself either. I still give my sister hell about that. I remember being on a cruise and there was a dress code to enter the seated dining area, but women could pretty much wear what they wanted, and men had to wear pants. There was a couple wearing the same outfit, khaki shorts, and yellow polos, and the wife was allowed in, while the husband was sent away to put on pants. One of the guys I was with didn't pack pants. It was a Caribbean cruise, so he wore a pair of his girlfriend's yoga pants for dinner every day. As a girl who goes to the gym, I envy how naturally strong men are and how it's easier for them to build muscle. I know it's different for everyone, but in general, I wish I could lift as heavy, and I know I could do it, but I'd need to train harder/longer. My ex is super jealous of that. I started climbing again with her and started seeing improvements almost instantly. I started off at approximately her level, but within a couple sessions I had already passed her and had noticeably larger muscles than when I started. She was so angry about it. I never really comprehended the difference in natural strength until my fiancé needed help loading some gardening soil into the cart. It was a 40-pound bag and she was struggling to lift it with both arms. She was able to pick it up, but was struggling. I was able to grab it with one hand with ease. Not super impressive, but still. There was a story some guy told on Reddit years back, where his wife bought one of those little barbell tree things that's got like 50 pounds total along the whole thing. She was working out and getting fitter, able to go longer with the heavier weights, and he was happy for her. But then she started to get in his face about it, taunting him, and saying he should go and lift weights too to get stronger like her, etc. One day while she was in one of those moods, he just shrugs a little and walks over to the barbell set while she's taunting him and just one by one puts the barbells on the tree, and then as she keeps going he just calmly picks the whole thing up with one arm, walks it across the room and sets it down. He said something like she just deflated at this. For all her training and effort, that was not something she could have done, and she just looked at me and said, "That's not fair. You don't have to do anything to be that strong." I love all the bright colors women can wear and have available to them. I wanted some pink Converse and had to get a woman's size 13 or something. I have bought shirts in the thrift store and taking them home and my wife is like, "That's a blouse." Edit. Haha, this blew up. To the people that say wear what you want even if it's a blouse, I absolutely 100% agree. Except, and I only have my own experience with a few pieces of clothing, Women's tops are sometimes cut weird, trim at the sides and then hanging down at the front. They also are sometimes in weird material, not like the shirts I buy that gets all wrinkly and whatnot in the dryer. As I said somewhere down there, I am essentially lazy. I would love the floral patterns and big ass polka dots and cool designs just transferred to a men's shirt I know will fit properly. If I had a smaller frame I absolutely would. You always hear about Bowie or Prince wearing their girlfriend's clothes and I totally get that. But yes, wear what you want, I obviously do. I have a small collection of 60s and 70s wear I have bought specifically because it looked awesome and it looks like some women's clothing does now. Fashion. When I go shopping with my GF, I always see 10 things I'd wear as a girl to 1 thing I wear as a guy. I'm jealous of casual formal wear. A girl could wear a dress to any occasion you could imagine. But you can't with men's formal wear. I'd look like an absolute idiot if I showed up to the pool in a sunsuit, plus you can buy a gorgeous dress for like $5 if you catch a good deal. I think there is more variety to women's wear and I hate that the men's section in every store is at most half the size of the women's and usually more like 1/4. I've stopped caring about shoes and wear women's sneakers sometimes. Edit. Some people seem to misunderstand what I mean by this. I'm not jealous of anything in particular. I'm jealous of the options in general. There's not a whole lot of selection in the men's section of stores. I don't want to wear a dress, although thanks for all of the support saying that I should wear a dress if I want, haha, and I'm also happy with what I can wear. I'm happy with my deep pockets and my properly measured pants. I just want to walk into a store and have the whole store be for me for once. Also thanks for the suggestions as to how to spice up my wardrobe. Being able to play silly games with babies or young children without people automatically assuming you're up to something nefarious. Yes. I told a story on another AskReddit post about how I used to be a summer camp leader, and any time I would interact with a child that is more than just talking, I would get dirty looks from the middle-aged women that also worked there. Meanwhile, the girls that worked there could hug the kids, get them to sit on their laps, and show affection, and none of the ladies would bat an eye. One time a girl was leaning against my leg, and I was telling her to stop, but instinctively she would continue doing it after a couple of minutes. When her parents walked in, they pulled me to the side and told me how their daughter touching my leg made them uncomfortable. It made me feel so shitty, people seeing me as a potential predator even though I just love playing with kids. It turned the job I once found fun and amazing into a job that was stressful and one that I had to be careful with anything I did. Edit. So apparently a lot of people have seen my previous comment about this in the other AskReddit thread. Next time I'll make sure to tell a different story to switch it up, haha. My older brother was a camp counselor when he was 17. He got fired for being too affectionate with the kids. He wasn't doing anything different than any of the female counselors. No parents even complained and all the kids loved him. It really bummed him out for a long time. This was in the 90s. Being taken more seriously and seen as competent at work. Worked as an engineer for many years and having people regularly assume you don't know anything is soul-crushing more than it is funny. I didn't spend 10 years studying this shit just so you could ignore me in meetings and direct all the attention to my colleague who doesn't know shit just because he is a man and I must be the secretary. Now work in another field where there is less of a gender disparity, but I'm still a bit sad that I wasted so much time on engineering. Penises sound really great all around. Easy peeing, easy masturbation, helicopter dick, no swamp crotch. For real, the only problem you guys seem to have is balls, though I hear they feel good during sex.